Sweet like licorice, sugar from my booger, juicy like high C.
Show enough be the boss on this team, so all you MCs, how I miss it, make the green.
I need a man that's quick and swift to put out the slip and get stiff. Grown and sexy, this a new bop. How do you want it?
And I mean, like I said, today we're adults. That's water under the bridge. Lyte is actually doing a lot of things, positive things for young ladies. You know, I am working parallel to her in doing that.
If you know hip-hop, you know her. MC Lyte's the one who basically paved the way for female rappers after being the first to drop a solo album. But she's also had her share of drama. We're talking diss tracks, lawsuits, rumors of her using inappropriate lyrics for kids, her husband snubbing her off her money, and whatnot. It's been a lot, and we're dishing all of that out for you. Born Lana Michelle Moorer on October 11th, 1970, MC Lyte grew up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, spent a lot of time in Queens and Far Rockaway too, and was heavily influenced by the local scene in hip-hop. Her brothers, Milk D and DJ Giz from Audio 2, were already making waves in the game.
My name is Milk. When Milk is on the mic, I say all the rhyme.
And their dad, Nat Robinson, played a huge role in getting their careers off the ground. In fact, he was actually the mastermind behind First Priority Records, the label that would soon sign MC Lyte. This legend started young.
You're a young rapper. You started out very, very young.
Yes, I did, 13.
13 years old.
And by 14, she was already recording tracks. Growing up during the crack epidemic and losing all her friends to violence, she saw things no kid should, and she channeled that pain and frustration into her lyrics. Her breakthrough came when she dropped Lyte as a Rock in 1988. While it wasn't an instant platinum hit, it quickly became a cornerstone of hip-hop history, a must-have classic. But here's the thing, MC Lyte never saw it as a big break at first.
But when they asked me to come to Staten Island to meet with the record label, I can look at it now and see that it was an audition.
And she had her rhyme book with her, ready to prove herself. She didn't know it then, but she was about to change the game for good. By 1987, at just 16, MC Lyte dropped I Cram to Understand You, Sam.
I cram to understand you just like a test, just like a test.
One of the first tracks to really address the crack epidemic, a song she'd written at just 12 years old. And the world was listening. She was quickly gaining recognition too, and by 1988, The Village Voice had crowned her as the best female vocalist in hip-hop. She even appeared in the music video for Sinead O'Connor's I Want Your Hands on Me.
Just touch me, or put your hands on me.
Which blew up on MTV. In 1989, she joined the Stop the Violence movement alongside some of hip-hop's biggest names like Public Enemy and Boogie Down Productions. Together, they released Self-Destruction.
MC Lyte's on the microphone, bum rushing and pushing, snatching and taxing.
A track that hit #1 on the Billboard Hot Rap Singles chart and raised money for the National Urban League. Then came her second album, Eyes on This, in 1989.
Spot a cappuccino.
And that's when she really made history. She's impressive, no doubt. But now, let's get you to some juicy stuff, shall we? Let's rewind to 1987. So Antoinette drops her track I Got an Attitude.
Can't join my team, I got an attitude.
And she used a beat that sounded exactly like Audio 2's Top Billin'.
Gizmo's chillin', what more can I say? Top billin'.
This beat was supposed to be remixed for a compilation project that Herbie Lovebug Azor was working on. But instead of using it for Audio 2, Azor ended up giving it to Antoinette. And to top it off, she also threw in some subtle shots at MC Lyte in her lyrics. And then came 10% Diss by MC Lyte.
Backjack and listen to this, it's 10% diss.
Released in 1988, this track was a full-on lyrical attack. Lyte was coming for Antoinette, and she didn't hold back. because apparently Antoinette stole the beat from Audio 2's Top Billin'. Naturally, MC Lyte got roped in to handle the beef. And if you think she was polite about it, think again. Lyte explained that writing 10% diss was simple. She just came up with the nastiest things to say. And the title reflected that it was only 10% of what she could have said. She didn't even know Antoinette personally. It was all about the battle on the track. MC Lyte fired back with "Shut the F up, ho."
Lighter start the debate.
But the beef didn't last. But hey, at least we got one of the most legendary diss tracks out of it.
Too much.
Right, but it was never anything between me and Lyte on a personal note.
Now, Lyte has also been at the receiving end of trouble.
Kind of swung back to what it was.
Back in 2019, MC Lyte got herself wrapped up in some legal drama with her former employee, Christopher Smith, who was claiming she owed him $38,000 for work he did on a project with her company, SUNY Girl. Christopher was hired to do a bunch of creative stuff for the project, like writing, animating, and illustrating. He put in over 1,200 hours of work, and when it came time for him to get paid, nothing. Zero. Zilch. After he wrapped up, MC Lyte and her business partner, Lynn Richardson, sent him a check for $11,250 as a partial payment. But that check bounced, so Christopher took the legal route, suing them for the full $38,000. MC Lyte's team said they reached a settlement, and it was all supposedly resolved. The settlement was, apparently, that Christopher had to hand over some of his rights to his work in exchange for the payment. But that's not the only trouble she's been in. Far from it, in fact. You know that classic MC Lyte song, Too Young for What?
May sound mean, but I'm into little boys that are about 17.
Well, a line from it has resurfaced, and oh boy, it caused quite the stir. This lyric from 1991 had people angry. The song is rather problematic. If you don't believe us, the very next verse goes, I don't know why, but they put up a fight. And hot damn, that excites the MC Lyte. So, yeah, you heard that right. And it resurfaced when on the Culture Report, host Ray Daniels threw this question into the mix. Why is no one flipping out over this lyric? He straight up brought it up and compared it to the major backlash other men have gotten over similar or even much less problematic stuff. There were some who jumped to Lyte's defense, claiming it was a different time. She was young, barely 21 when she wrote that. It's not the same as it would be today. Lyte responded saying she was just 19 when she made the song and it was all playful. She'd been getting attention from high school guys and decided to write a song for them. She pointed out how, when she was a teen, dating a guy a couple years older wasn't weird, but if the roles were reversed, it would be a huge issue. She admitted, looking back, she probably wouldn't have worded it that way now, knowing how powerful words can be. But she wasn't backing down, just saying things were different back then. So at the 2023 Phoenix Awards, President Biden was up there giving props to LL Cool J and MC Lyte. But he had a bit of a slip-up.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop, LL Cool J and MC Lyte.
First, he totally messed up LL's name and called him LLJ Cool J instead of LL Cool J. And then, to make things worse, he accidentally dropped the word boy before quickly fixing himself.
That man's got biceps bigger than my thighs.
Social media went wild. MC Lyte went on social media to clear the air and claimed that she was right there and Biden didn't mean any harm. It was just a mistake. We all mess up. MC Lyte married entrepreneur John White in 2017 after meeting on Match.com. The wedding was a super private affair in Jamaica, which sounds beautiful and low-key. She went on a show to talk about the marriage and revealed that before she tied the knot, She was always on the road, barely home. So her and her husband did the whole courting thing while she was away, which is low-key wild, but they managed to make it work.
Marriage, or whether you're living together prior to, it's all about communication.
Yeah.
And if you can communicate, you can kind of work through all of the issues.
But unfortunately, just a year later, they quietly split. Fast forward to 2020, Lyte officially filed for divorce, and this whole process wasn't exactly a walk in the park.
My work, my businesses, and I would have loved for there to be marriage along with that.
In fact, the divorce didn't get finalized until 2023, 3 whole years after she filed.
Because he doesn't want to sign the papers.
Oh.
In a 2022 appearance on The Real, Lyte opened up about how draining the whole thing was. She talked about the emotional roller coaster of trying to save the relationship, then having to face the reality that it was over. Now, because Lyte came into the marriage with her career already built, she had a prenuptial agreement in place. And trust, that prenup worked in her favor. She walked away with full ownership of her music catalog, and she kept all her personal belongings, like jewelry, watches, and her Subaru. Oh, and all the furniture and financial accounts in her name? Yep, all hers. And just in case you were wondering, Wyche didn't get any spousal support. In 2022, Lyte took to Instagram to clear up some rumors and set the record straight. She straight up denied that Wyche ever tried to take anything from her. Anything written or said that implies otherwise is untrue and unfair. She also explained that any delays in signing the divorce papers were more about his attempts to save the relationship, not a fight over money or property. At one point, she was disgusted with what she was hearing in today's music scene. Instead of sitting around complaining, she decided to get hands-on by starting to DJ. A chance meeting with Busta Rhymes' DJ, Cool V, set her on the path. He handed her a whole library of music, and that changed everything for her. When it comes to the progression of hip-hop, Lyte thinks it's moved forward in a big way. She's giving major props to artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole,
I'm writing down names, I'm making a list, I'm checking it twice and I'm getting them hit.
who are pushing boundaries with their music. She also gave a nod to Drake for his progressive production choices. She recognizes that hip-hop still represents what's happening in the streets, so there's room for growth, but it's still rooted in the culture.
Award honoree MC Lyte.
MC Lyte became the first solo female rapper to land a spot on the Billboard 200, a major milestone that solidified her as a force in the game. From there, it only got bigger. She's won awards like the Soul Train Lady of Soul Award and the BET Hip Hop Icon Award.
The recipient of the 2013 I Am Hip Hop Award presented by Sprite, MC Lyte.
Plus multiple Grammy nominations. In 2023, she even received a nod for her contributions to the Ladies First documentary.
Welcome to the stage, MC Lyte and Dream Hampton, our executive producer.
She's also made history by being the first female rapper to perform at both Carnegie Hall and the White House. And in 2023, Billboard and Vibe named her one of the 50 greatest rappers of all time. But that's not all. Lyte isn't just a hip-hop icon. She's out here winning in every lane. She's acted in films like A Love Tale and SWAT.
I'm upset here, and you two weirdos are going back and forth about this nonsense.
You know, next month I hit my 20th. Been thinking about cashing in my pension early.
Voiced characters for brands like AT&T, and even DJ'd for Michael Jordan's 50th and Jay Leno's Farewell. She owns Chi-Tel, a boutique with a New York vibe, But she's also giving back with the Hip Hop Sisters Foundation, dishing out scholarships, and even made history as the first African-American woman to lead the LA chapter of the Recording Academy. And we gotta say, she deserves that net worth, which is estimated to range between $8 million and $12 million. MC Lyte's One of One album dropped in 2024 after 10 years away.
Now I'm blazing like a fire.
With features from Stevie Wonder, Queen Latifah, and more. In 2025, she's hitting the road with the Reflections of Light tour and giving new artists a shot with the Lift Up Cypher.